Your money is being stolen, not by a masked thief or a hacker in a dark room, by the places you trust most, the banks, the investments, even the people you love. This is not a theory, this is a financial emergency, and if you do not act today, the next decade will drain your wealth like a broken pipe. Money is energy. It flows where it is respected and multiplies where it is understood. Yet millions live in lack not because they earn too little, but because they store their energy in graveyards, places that suffocate growth, places that guarantee scarcity. By the end of this talk, you will know exactly how to break free. A student once showed me a shoebox. Inside was $50,000 in cash, her father's life savings. She thought it was safe. She was wrong. 10 years later, inflation had eaten 20% of its value. She was wrong. 10 years later, inflation had eaten 20% of its value. Worse, that money could have become $250,000 in the stock market, a $250,000 loss, all because she trusted a cardboard box over the laws of economics. This is the reality. Every dollar under your mattress, every penny in a low-yield account, every safe investment recommended by so-called experts is a betrayal of your future. Poverty is not an accident. It is a habit of storing energy in places that cannot sustain it. There are 7 specific locations where money goes to die, 7 traps that keep even high earners broke. The 5th one will make your blood boil. The 6th, you have fallen for it 100 times. The 7th lives inside your skull, whispering lies that feel like truth. This is not about budgeting harder or earning more. This is about physics. Money obeys the same rules as light. It cannot grow in darkness. It cannot thrive in fear. Where you place it determines whether it becomes a mountain or a mirage. The clock is ticking. Every second your money sits in these toxic zones, your future dims. But today that stops. Today you learn the exact steps to relocate your wealth into environments where it cannot help but explode. Close your eyes. Picture your bank account 1 year from now, 30% larger, not from luck, not from working weekends, from simply moving your money out of the shadows and into the light. That future is possible. It is waiting. All you have to do is avoid these 7 traps. Let us begin. Physical cash feels safe. It lies to you. That stack of bills under your bed whispers promises of security while silently rotting. Every year, inflation eats 2 to 3% of its value. Over a decade, 20% vanishes. Poof, gone. Not stolen by a criminal, not lost in a crash, murdered by your own hands. A man once showed me a fireproof safe. Inside $40,000, his emergency fund. He slept better knowing it was there. 5 years later, that cash bought 15% less food, fuel, and medicine. It was worse if he had invested it in the S&P 500, it would have grown to $75,000, a $35,000 penalty for playing it safe. This is the mattress mentality, the delusion that hiding money equals protecting it. Cash under a mattress, in a drawer, or buried in the backyard is not a strategy. It is surrender. Surrender to fear. Surrender to ignorance. Surrender to the slow bleed of purchasing power. So inflation is not a theory. It is a predator. It hunts idle money. Every day your cash sits stagnant, it loses ground. Think of it as a melting ice cube. Hold it too long and all you have left is a puddle of regret. The wealthy do not hoard paper. They convert cash into assets that fight inflation. Gold, real estate, index funds. These are shields against the silent thief. $100 in your sock drawer becomes $80 in 10 years. That same 100 in a diversified portfolio becomes 200. The choice is simple. Die slow or grow bold. I know your fear. Markets crash, banks fail, the world feels unstable. But let me ask you this. Has any currency in history survived by staying paper? Romans buried coins. Spaniards stacked gold. Neither worked. Why? Because wealth is not a static object. It is a living force. It must move. Breathe, multiply, take action today. Open your safe, empty your shoebox. Calculate how much you truly need for emergencies. For most, 3 months of expenses is enough. Take the rest and put it to work. Not tomorrow, not next week, today, right now. Respect your money too much to let it decay. You would not plant a seed in concrete and expect a tree. Do not plant your wealth in a graveyard. Move it to fertile ground. Watch it rise. Your bank is laughing at you. While you celebrate a $10 annual interest payment on your life savings, they lend that same money to others at 20%. A thousandfold profit, made possible by your loyalty to an institution that views you as a resource, not a human being. A couple once trusted their local bank for 30 years, $200,000 in a high yield savings account earning 0.05%, 0.05%. The bank used their cash to issue car loans at 6%. Over a decade, the couple earned $900 in interest. The bank made $120,000. A legal robbery. This is the 0.01% interest scam. Banks thrive on your complacency. They know most will never question the fine print, never demand better, never realize that savings account is code for charity donation to billion-dollar corporations. Money in a traditional bank account is not growing, it is suffocating. Inflation devours its value faster than the pathetic interest replaces it. A $10,000 deposit becomes $9,000 in purchasing power within 7 years. Meanwhile, the bank profits wildly by lending your money to others. You lose twice. High yield accounts exist. Treasury bonds exist. Credit unions exist. These options pay 5 to 10 times more interest with the same security, yet most never switch. Why? Because banks weaponize convenience. They count on your inertia, your fear of change, your misplaced trust in familiar logos. The wealthy do not tolerate disrespect. They negotiate, they move funds, they chase yields. A 5% difference on $100,000 is $5,000 a year. Over 20 years compounded, that is life-changing money. Yet millions settle for crumbs because they fear effort more than poverty. Break the trance. Your relationship with banks should be transactional, not emotional. They are tools, not family. If a bank pays you 0.01% while charging others 15% for mortgages, they are not your partner. They are your predator. Action is non-negotiable. Log into your accounts today, calculate the interest earned last year, compare it to high-yield alternatives. The difference will disgust you. Transfer every dollar above your emergency fund into vehicles that fight for you. Not next month, today. Banks have no conscience, no loyalty. They exist to profit. It is time to return the favor. Take back your power, take back your yield. Your future self will weep with gratitude. Mutual funds are wolves in sheep's clothing, advertised as diversified and professionally managed. They siphon off your wealth with fees so cleverly hidden, even accountants miss them. A 1% annual charge seems harmless. Over 30 years, it devours 30% of your potential returns. The math does not lie. A woman once handed me her portfolio, $500,000 in a top-rated mutual fund. Over 10 years, she paid $65,000 in fees. Her net return? 4% annually. The same investment in a low-cost index fund would have earned her double. She cried when she saw the numbers. $65,000 gone. For what? Fancy brochures and empty promises. Hidden fees are the silent killers of wealth. Management fees, load fees, 12b1 fees, expense ratios, each a tiny leech sucking your financial blood. A 2% fee halves your portfolio's growth over 50 years. You work weekends for this? You sacrifice time with family for this to fund a fund manager's Porsche? The industry preys on your trust. They use terms like actively managed and alpha generation to dazzle you. Meanwhile, 87% of mutual funds underperform the market over 15 years. The experts fail. You pay for their failure. It is a rigged game. Index funds exist. Real estate investment trusts exist. Self-directed portfolios exist. These options charge a fraction of the cost while matching or beating mutual fund returns. Yet most stay trapped. Why? Because Wall Street spends billions convincing you complexity equals safety. It does not. Complexity equals profit. for them. The wealthy own assets, not fees. They negotiate rates. They demand transparency. They fire advisors who underperform. A single percentage point saved on fees adds hundreds of thousands over a lifetime. Yet millions accept the drain because questioning authority feels uncomfortable. Wake up. Your retirement account is not a charity. Every dollar lost to fees is a dollar stolen from your future freedom. A 5-year-old could pick index funds blindfolded and outperform most mutual funds. The data screams this truth, yet the lie persists because money loves ignorance. Action is urgent. Pull your investment statements today. Add up every fee, every line item, every fine print charge, multiply them over 10, 20, 30 years. The number will terrify you. Move your money into vehicles charging less than 0.5% annually. Not someday, today. Your life energy is too precious to waste on middlemen. Take control, educate yourself. Fire the vampires. Your future self will stand taller, wealthier, and unshackled from the greatest scam of modern finance. Love blinds. A sibling's tearful plea, a parent's guilt-tripped request. These moments hijack logic. You open your wallet to help, not realizing you are signing a contract with disaster. Loans to family and friends do not build bridges, they burn them. A woman once lent her sister $200,000 to save a failing business. Pay me back when you can, she said. 5 years passed, the business collapsed. The sister vanished. The debt? Forgotten. The relationship? Dead. 2 losses for the price of 1. Money given to loved ones is a grenade with the pin pulled. It may not explode today or tomorrow, but eventually it will. Resentment grows in silence. Every unpaid dollar becomes a brick in a wall between you. You lose twice, your wealth and your peace. The math is brutal. 90% of personal loans to family never repay in full. Half dissolve into permanent grudges. Your kindness becomes a weapon. Your generosity funds their excuses. Your savings account empties while their accountability evaporates. This is not cruelty. This is physics. Money mixed with emotion creates toxic reactions. A friend's promise to repay next month carries no weight. A cousin's vow to make it right lacks collateral. Your heart writes checks your future cannot cash. The wealthy set boundaries. They gift small amounts freely, no strings attached. They say no to large requests without apology. They understand. True help empowers, not enables. Buying someone a meal builds connection. Funding their recklessness builds codependency. You are not a bank. You are not a charity. You are a steward of your energy. Every dollar loaned to poor character is a dollar stolen from your purpose. A business you could have started, a debt you could have erased, a legacy you could have built. Action requires courage. Write this down. I will never lend money I cannot afford to lose. Post it on your mirror. Repeat it until your guilt shrivels. When requests come, offer non-monetary support. Job leads, mentorship, a listening ear. If they protest, their intent was never repayment. Your financial stability is sacred. Protect it like a lioness guards her cubs. The ones who matter will respect your boundaries. The rest, let them fade. Your future family, the children you raise, the dreams you fund, deserve this discipline. Stop financing dysfunction. Start funding destiny. The choice is yours. Digital gold promises freedom, but delivers chaos. A market where fortunes vanish faster than they form, where hype outpaces logic, where 95% of traders lose money chasing the 5% who rig the game. Cryptocurrency is not an investment. It is a gamble dressed in tech jargon. A man once bragged about his $30,000 Bitcoin purchase. Retirement solved, he said. 6 months later, it was worth 4,000. He could not sleep. His marriage frayed. His future evaporated in a fog of tweets and meme coins. This is the dark side of crypto. Volatility that feeds on desperation. Blockchain technology is revolutionary. Bitcoin is historic. But the market? A playground for predators, pump and dump schemes, rug pulls, exchange hacks. The average investor lacks the skill and stomach to navigate this war zone. You are not trading assets. You are betting against sharks with insider algorithms. The myth of decentralized freedom is a half-truth. Yes, crypto escapes government control, but it bows to whales, individuals holding billions who manipulate prices at will. A single tweet can crater your life savings. A rumor can inflate a scam coin. You are not a trader, you are a pawn. Greed blinds. Stories of overnight millionaires hook the hopeful, but for every Lamborghini photo on Reddit, there are 10,000 silent losers. A student once mortgaged his college fund to buy Shiba Inu coins. They crashed 80% in weeks. His degree, delayed. His regret, permanent. Cryptocurrency has uses. Blockchain will change finance, but speculating on crypto is like investing in the internet by buying domain names in 1999. Most will fail. Few will survive. Even fewer will thrive. Unless you are a coding genius with insider networks, you are buying lottery tickets, not assets. The wealthy allocate cautiously. They treat crypto as a high risk sliver of their portfolio, 5% or less. They choose established coins with clear purposes: Bitcoin, Ethereum. They avoid the rest like radioactive waste. They never invest what they cannot afford to lose. Ever. Action demands discipline. If you own crypto, cap it at 5% of your net worth. Sell the rest today. If you are tempted to buy more, ask, can I explain blockchain's proof of work mechanism to a child? If not, walk away. This market rewards knowledge, not hope. Education precedes investment. Study wallets. Understand cold storage. Learn smart contracts. Until then, your money is fuel for others' rockets. The crypto revolution will mature. Wait for regulation. Wait for stability. Wait for clarity. Your future self will sleep deeper. Digital gold glitters, but true wealth is built in sunlight, not the shadows of speculation. Choose foundations over frenzy. The patient thrive. The reckless donate. Luxury cars depreciate the moment you drive them off the lot. Designer handbags lose 70% of their value in 2 years. The latest iPhone becomes obsolete in 12 months. These are not investments. These are expensive lies sold to keep you poor. A client once showed me his garage where 3 luxury cars worth $300,000. He called them assets. Reality, they cost him $12,000 a year in insurance, maintenance, and depreciation. Meanwhile, his neighbor owned a duplex. That same $300,000 generated $36,000 annually in rent. One man's toys funded another man's empire. Materialism is a disease disguised as success. Society confuses spending with wealth. A Rolex does not make you rich. A leased BMW does not signal power. They signal insecurity, a desperate need to project worth you have not yet earned. The truly wealthy drive used cars. They wear simple clothes. They let their bank accounts speak. Every dollar spent on depreciating items is a dollar murdered. That $50,000 watch becomes $25,000 the second you strap it on. Those designer shoes, worthless after 6 months. You are not buying quality. You are renting validation. The math is merciless. $100,000 spent on a car loses $60,000 in 5 years. The same money in a rental property grows to $150,000. One choice funds poverty. The other finances freedom. Yet millions choose the dopamine hit of a shopping spree over the slow burn of compounding. Status symbols are traps. Social media amplifies the lie. Influencers flaunt rented Lamborghinis and fake lifestyles. You compare your reality to their fiction. You swipe credit cards to close a gap that does not exist. The result? Debt, regret, a closet full of clothes that feel like shackles. The wealthy invest in cash-flowing assets, not liabilities. They buy businesses, not handbags. Land, not Louboutins. A $20 t-shirt from Target covers the same skin as a $2,000 designer shirt. The difference? One lets you keep $1,980 to build actual wealth, break the trance, open your closet, start your car, look at your gadgets, ask one question: did this purchase increase my net worth or my ego? If the answer stings, sell it today. Use the cash to buy assets that pay you. Dividend stocks, rental properties, index funds. True wealth is invisible, quiet. It does not scream for attention. It does not rust, break, or go out of style. It grows while you sleep. It feeds generations. It cannot be repossessed. Stop trading your future for today's applause. No one cares about your car, your shoes, your phone. They care about their own. Chase substance over sparkle. Your legacy depends on it. The most dangerous place to store wealth is your mind, not your bank, not your portfolio, your mind. Every thought of scarcity, every whisper of unworthiness, every fear of loss carves grooves in your brain that repel abundance. Poverty begins here in the silent rehearsal of lack. A man once told me he would never be rich. His father struggled. His grandfather struggled. He wore struggle like a crown. At 45, he earned six figures but lived paycheck to paycheck. Not because of bills, because of belief. His mind sabotaged every opportunity. He self-sabotaged raises. He avoided investments. He clung to lack like a life raft. Your mind is a garden. Plant fear and weeds choke your prosperity. Plant doubt and harvests fail. Neuroplasticity is real. The brain rewires itself based on focus. Obsess over debt, and neurons fire to magnify debt. Fixate on growth, and synapses spark to attract growth. Your financial reality is a printout of your mental software. Scarcity is a hallucination, a story sold by generations. You inherited phrases like money does not grow on trees and rich people are greedy. These are mental viruses. They shrink ambition. They poison risk taking. They turn potential into paralysis. The wealthy reprogram these narratives. They see money as energy, neutral, expandable, deserving. The mirror does not lie. Check your bank account. It reflects your deepest self-concept. If the balance is low, the issue is not your job or the economy, it is your subconscious ceiling. A client once doubled her income in 6 months, not by working harder, but by deleting the phrase, I am bad with money, from her vocabulary. Words shape worlds. Victimhood is a prison. Blaming the system, the government, or your upbringing keeps you small. Ownership is freedom. Admitting my thoughts created this unlocks power. A student erased $50,000 of debt in a year after writing daily, money flows to me easily. I am a magnet for abundance. He did not change his job, he changed his mind. Action is non-negotiable. Write a new script. Every morning declare, I am worthy of wealth. Money expands my impact. Every night list 3 financial wins, even $5 saved. Gratitude rewires lack into possibility. Visualization is not wishful thinking, it is neural training. See yourself signing checks, receiving dividends, living debt-free. The brain cannot distinguish vivid imagination from reality. Excuses are enemies. I am too old. I do not have time. I am not smart enough. These are lies. The wealthiest people on earth faced worse. They chose defiance over defeat. You have the same hours as Elon Musk, the same brain plasticity as Oprah, the same potential as anyone who ever escaped poverty. Start today. Forgive past financial mistakes. They were lessons, not life sentences. Audit your self-talk. Erase I cannot afford it. Replace it with how can I afford it? This simple shift activates problem-solving neurons. Wealth is a creative challenge, not a cosmic curse. Your mind can bankrupt you or fund empires. The choice is yours. The clock is ticking. Every second spent in fear is interest paid to poverty. Break the cycle, rewire, reclaim. Your wealth awaits, not in the world, but in the wiring of your wonder. 7 traps, 7 silent thieves, 7 ways your wealth leaks while you sleep. From the mattress to the mind, each a choice to surrender or fight, to rot or rise. Today that choice ends. MMISA. Memorize these letters: mattress, banks, investments, family, crypto, material, mind. Each a pitfall, each a test. Pass them, and your money transforms from paper to power. Fail, and the cycle continues. The formula is simple. Move your money or lose it. A student once asked me, how fast can this work? I showed him a bonsai tree. 10 years to grow, he said. I shook my head. No, 10 years to stunt. It was born to be giant. So were you. Your wealth is that tree. Repot it today and watch it soar. The clock ticks. Every minute your money sits in toxic zones, steals from your future. 30% richer in a year is not a dream. It is math. Move cash from mattresses to assets. Shift bank deposits to high yield havens. Swap mutual funds for index giants. Say no to reckless loans. Cap crypto. Sell status symbols. Rewire your mind. The numbers do not lie. Wealth is not luck, it is location. A dollar in the wrong place is a prisoner. A dollar in the right place becomes an army. You are not a victim. You are a strategist, a general. Every decision today recruits soldiers for your financial freedom. Picture this 1 year from now. Your accounts grow without effort. Your assets pay you monthly. Your mind breathes abundance, not fear. This is not fantasy, this is physics. Energy flows where intention goes. Your money follows your mindset. Always act now, not tomorrow, tonight. Open your accounts, transfer the cash, sell the clutter, write the new mantra. The greatest wealth transfer in history is happening. You choose which side you are on, the drained or the empowered. Your ancestors endured scarcity so you could defy it. Honor their struggle by building a legacy. A child will inherit your choices. Leave them land, not loans. Confidence, not coupons. A mind wired for abundance, not lack. The session ends, the work begins. If you are ready to go deeper, join me at Life is Shorter. The time is now. Close your eyes, see the future you. Rich in resources, richer in purpose. Reach out, shake that version's hand, say thank you for not quitting. Now open your eyes, make that future true. Money is energy, you are the source. Flow wisely.